Happy Thursday morning. This is Brent with Lykins Motorsports. We're doing some engine work today. Got our 351 Cleveland ready for some action. Got a new build that we're gonna have going. Completely different scenario from what I'm usually used to looking at, but got this one in the shop. This is a 2013 5.0 Coyote, and the goal for this one is a carbureted, high RPM, non-computer controlled screamer, basically. And we're going to be looking for somewhere around 2 horsepower per cubic inch, naturally aspirated. Like I said, this is totally out of my wheelhouse. And I've done some modular engine stuff. I've assembled some short blocks and did some other work, but this is nowhere near, my experience with that is nowhere near my experience with Cleveland's, Windsor's, big block Fords, and especially FEs. So I would imagine I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of research as I'm both tearing this down and going through the steps of putting it together. This is, I think this came out, I'll ask you guys, you probably know more about it than I do. I'm assuming since it's got cast iron manifolds that it came out of an F-150. I think the Mustangs, again, correct me if I'm wrong, may have had some kind of a tubular manifold header type deal. This one came out of I guess a rollover. The passenger side valve cover was completely missing, and the bell housing dowel is missing on this side, and it's kind of a little boogered up. So may have to have Mr. Ray Shepard touch that up for me and make it right. So Essex engine plant. I don't know if that helps anybody do anything. It's got one of these QR codes on it. I guess I could scan it with my phone and see what happens. But everything looks fairly new. They said it was low mileage. Spark plug kind of tilted. I'm hoping that it's they just pulled it out to check things out. I'll check that out here in a second. But it's been sitting a little bit. It's got some boogers down in the intake ports. So I've already talked to my head porter. He's going to do the heads for me. We're going to use a Sullivan 5.4 liter dual overhead cam intake with some adapters so we can have a big high single plane intake manifold. I'll spec the cams for it. We'll do some custom comp cams sticks for it. From what I understand, the crankshafts are forged, so that's good. I did pick the brain of a couple of guys over at Modular Head Shop. They suggested for my application that I shy away from the factory powdered metal connecting rods. I told them I was aiming for about 600 horsepower and 7,500 to 8,000 RPM, and they told me it was the RPM that would probably do those rods in. So we'll probably be going to Molnar for connecting rods. The task at hand is to just label all this stuff. I suspect that the cam bores in here are kind of already lapped into each other. So I'm going to mark these cam saddles, cam caps, try to get these exhaust manifolds off, and just kind of see what we got going on. But that's the plan. If you guys, I think I'm going to call on my buddy from Houston Vapor Blasting and see if I can send him pretty much everything. And it would be nice if I could send him the block as well to make it look new. But we'll have to talk about that. Mr. Bobby, if you're watching, let me know what you think. Okay, that plug was just laying in there. It's not a bad looking plug either, so I think this motor is going to be in pretty good shape. This appears to be the original Motorcraft plug. Got our driver's side valve cover off. It looks completely different than the other side. Somebody didn't do their oil changes very well, and it's got had some water in it, apparently. That doesn't bother me, because if there's anything amiss, we'll catch it on the rebuild. These are the variable valve timing mechanisms. Pretty cool. We're gonna get rid of those, lock those out. Modular Mustang Racing makes some really nice replacements that also allow you to dial in the cam timing for each cam. So we'll be going that direction. Little tiny valve springs. I'm not used to seeing stuff like this. I guess these are followers, and then lash adjusters underneath. I don't have a set of metric deep well sockets. I've never had a need for them. I did find my metric wrench set, and it has the 10mm on it, so that's how I was able to get the valve cover off. So it looks like I'm gonna probably have to order some tools before I go too far. I can't even get the water pump pulley off. But so this is gonna be a short video, but just wanted to do an introduction. And it's kind of cool to see how new stuff is made. Crank position sensor, I think, if I'm correct. And then cam sensors, I'm thinking, since they got these little reluctor wheels made on the end of them. Makes sense to me anyway. Can't get the timing cover off until I get the water pump off and the balancer and all that junk, so I'll have to order some tools. But this thing is wide. A lot wider than what I'm normally used to looking at. We'll get through it though. Alright guys, stay tuned for more videos on this guy, because it'll get interesting. Interesting in you guys will probably be making fun of me for not knowing what I'm doing. It's not a typical Ford, so I'll be stumbling around, but we'll get through it. Alright guys, hope you're having a good week so far. And stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for your comments. I'll talk to you guys later.